level up a few thousand degrees with a Lava Hot podcast and host Joseph Connell Jr. You'll hear from ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things, from tech startup CEOs and marketing professionals to authors, investors, and sales trainers. This show will be packed with information to help you level up in life or business, taking you from on fire up to lava hot. Get ready to burn this down.
Hello and welcome to the Lava Hot Podcast. Today we have special guest John Malott. I'm really excited to have John on. Just some of the story that I've seen just following him over the past couple of years, or several years really. This individual started from $600 and built an empire of 30 million. Has also built a business that has produced over 1.5 billion in sales. Currently is the founder and CEO of Osnap Active Lifestyle. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, brother. It's my pleasure, man. We finally connect. I'm looking forward to this. Been looking forward to it.
Yep, me too. Definitely got a little derailed at the beginning of the year with some snow. Here in Maryland, snow just completely derails everything. So,
hey, man, you do know it's a free country, right? You don't have to live there.
That's very true. Yeah, if I had my way, I'd be down in Florida sometime this year. So,
man, I had a mentor who used to drive me east. So I used to complain. I was living in Wisconsin. I lived in Illinois, and so I know the snow very well. And he used to always give me a hard time. He's like, John, you do understand you live in a free country, right? You don't have to live there. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of that today. Give you a little hard time. But I'm in Arizona now, man. It's a beautiful 70 degrees and the sun is shining bright. So I don't want to relate anymore to that cold. I got to stay away from it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not the best for me either. So I wanted to actually start back at the beginning. So I saw a post that you put out the other day. High school dropout, becomes an individual that creates a business that does over 1.5 billion in sales. I want to go back to that very beginning. There's to kind of kick it off, there's a saying that Jim Rohn says, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. You seem to be the epitome of that statement. So I would love for you to walk me through the beginning and how we got to this point.
Yeah, man, look, of course, I don't have all the things that society says you're supposed to have to be successful. I don't have a college degree. I don't even have a high school diploma. My first felony arrest, I was 15 years old. I robbed a movie theater. And from there, of course, I was locked in a juvenile detention facility for a while and basically dropped out of high school in the 10th grade. I get out of the juvenile detention facility. Something that we now know today as the crack epidemic was alive and well. I always wanted to be the capitalist. In my neighborhood, there was two types of people, the capitalist and the consumer. The capitalists, they had the big rims, they had the girls, they had everything that I thought I wanted. I wanted to do that. I tried my hand at that. I didn't get the memo, though. Don't get high on your own supply, which is pretty well known these days. But I didn't heed that warning, and by 17 years old, I have a heart attack from smoking cocaine, crack, and I'm just behind on life, man. I'm struggling big time. But it was in that drug rehabilitation facility that I ran into a guy, Dave. Dave was a former outlaw motorcycle gang member. Dave was the first guy that really held the mirror up. Dave was the first guy that demanded respect. He didn't talk at me. Yep. He talked to me, and I saw him differently, man, because he was cut from the same cloth as I was, came from the same neighborhood that I came from. Dave held the mirror up and said, look, bro, you're here because you made an appointment to be here. Your life sucks because you made it that way. Later on in life, Jim Rohn became one of my close mentors because he had a financial stake. See my wife crawling behind us. Later on, Jim Rohn had a financial stake in mentoring me. He could earn some money from me, so I was fortunate to sit at the feet of greatness when, in that drug rehabilitation program, Dave gave me a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and that was the beginning of this personal development journey. That's when I realized, man, I was so far behind. But I never through all that. My final felony arrest, I was 24 years old. Now I'm a grown man. I'm supposed to be doing things better, different, whatever. I never ever thought about blaming my personal philosophies for my challenges in life. I blame the government. I blame my dad. I blame my mom for leaving when she did. I blame everybody and everything except for myself. Dave was the first guy to help hold that mirror up to my face. And from then, he planted seeds that like I wrote a book later on in life with a guy by the name of Les Brown, the motivational speaker. We wrote a book called The Power of One. And Les Brown used to always say, when your mind expands, it can never go back to those original dimensions. And because of what happened in the drug rehab center, and because nobody would hire me because of my background, entrepreneurship became the only option if I was ever going to do anything with my life. I already did bum very well. It was time, to move forward into something else. So that's kind of the Reader's Digest version as best I can give you. The early stages of a messed up, life, messed up by myself. And then entrepreneurship literally saved my life. Entrepreneurship put me on a path, and I got around people that saw more in me than I saw in myself. And they started to teach me the principles of entrepreneurship, the fundamentals of leadership. And I just went for it every single day. I wish I could say that I got rich right away, but it was a tough journey. First year as a full-time entrepreneur, I only made $4,000. So people were still laughing. People were laughing, cracking jokes. Yeah. And I was crying in the fetal position most nights trying to figure out what the hell am I going to do?
Yeah, and that's part of the process. First they're going to ridicule you, and then eventually they're going to embrace you. I know there's a couple more steps in there that I'm missing, but, it starts with that initial ridicule and, to have the perseverance to continue on. Most people get discouraged from opportunities, typically from their friends, family, and neighbors and what they'll say. And, obviously you had the stick-to-itiveness to continue along that journey. So now looking back, so you've been an entrepreneur for how many years now?
Man, well, I was 24 when I was getting through this legal situation. I'm 51 today. So basically from, about 25 years, 27. But about 20. Man, I can't believe how old I am. Jesus, now you got me thinking, man. You see this tear welling up in my eye? My goodness.
You must be using reverse.
you know this reverse, man. Of course, I'm always a product of the product. I don't push anything to the marketplace I don't use or I don't believe in. But I like to see that you got it, brother. That makes me happy, man.
Yeah, I knew. As soon as we booked this, I had to get a sample pack just because I wanted to try it, and I plan to dive into that here shortly. Just my experience. I'm a personal fan of sleep, Osnap sleep. I've tried other sleep aids like melatonin and all the other stuff. I don't know why, but this just actually, gets the job done. When I'm out, I'm out. But anyway, so what I wanted to ask in that, so you've been on this entrepreneurial journey for about 27 years. If you could go back now, what would be some of the key points of advice that you would give to young Mallot in helping him with that journey?
That's easy. First one, humble yourself. Stop talking so damn much. Stop, your head's too big. I don't know how, I was so egotistical. I had such a big head, but I was broke, man. I don't know. When I look back, what a joke I was. I thought I was a big shot. I'm rolling through my neighborhood in my Pontiac 2000, two-tone, one-tone rust, one-tone dirt. And somehow I got a big old head. Somehow I think I'm great. And I got nothing. I don't have a plan. My philosophies suck. My bank account is empty. But yet I had this big ass ego. I got a tattoo now. It says ego is the enemy. I got it on my writing hand just as a reminder, that because sometimes you make some money and what happened to me, I started making some money. And I had a couple, big hits and I forgot where I came from. Thank God I had mentors back then that were willing to say, John, you're messing up. And I'll never forget one of my mentors says, John, you forgot where you came from. And if you keep acting like this with your big old head and your stupid ego, you're going to be on your way back. And I was like, I never want to go back. I don't want to go back. So I learned to humble myself down. And, we have this interesting thing with social media. There's so much arrogance inside of social media. There's so much posturing and puffing of the chest.
Yep.
I always say, these fake facades you can break with a rubber hammer. Not much substance behind it, but man, we're big talkers. And I was that way too. So, I get it. And I didn't have social media back then, to posture and take pictures in front of someone else's Rolls Royce or, mansion or whatever, or take a picture inside of someone else's private jet.
Yep.
But I had that's it, man. Because let me tell you real quick on that. The ego thing, it's okay. You can be a big shot, whatever. But at some point, something's going to shift on you. Something's going to turn, and you're going to be humbled. Well, the market will humble you at some point, whether it's the stock market, whatever business you're in.
Yep.
The biggest challenge when you've got a big ass ego is right now they might be cheering for you, but secretly in the back of their mind, they don't really like you. And once you fail and you've seen it over and over, man, they will kick you on when you're down really fast.
Yep.
But if you go about this humble and you're trying to help people and lift people and you truly have a heart for others and it became about them first before me, now it's different because I lost it twice. But the second time around, because I humbled myself, man, the doors opened up so fast. The doors opened up quick. Like, man, what can I do? How can we help? It was a whole different mentality from other people. And it was simply because I shifted my mentality. And then I got back so much faster. I got it back so much faster. I had the formula too, but the bottom line is doors don't open when you're an egotistical maniac. Now they're happy to see. Now you got to fight and claw to get yourself back. And you've been humbled and you're going to make a decision. Am I going to go and do what I can do and what I should do? And then check that ego, or am I going to continue operating in the same vein? So that's for me, that's the biggest one, man. Everything else is basics, get hard work, perseverance, stick-to-itiveness, things you talk about on a regular basis.
Yep, absolutely. So John, I want to go to where you are now. So you're in the process of building this company, Osnap Active Lifestyle. I saw, I believe the mission of the company is transforming minds, bodies, and bank accounts, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So talk to me about that. Tell me about the mission of the company and where you're planning to take this thing.
Look, man, anybody can, purchase supplements from somewhere. So first off, what I said, I'm disruptive in a lot of things, not just, as a kid being a disruptor in a bad way. I figure out there's things you can do to disrupt marketplaces in a good way, disrupt in a way that forces the status quo to change, disrupt in a way that forces people to live better or make things more efficient. So we've all seen, pills, hard to swallow pills. We've all seen messy powders and we've all seen sugary gummies. My partner showed me a new technology that he had access to and called Snap Packs. This is the big daddy of the group, but it's about as thin as a credit card. The one you got is about half the size, but this one's packed with all kinds of stuff. And we said, look, I read 40% of the population, they can't swallow pills or won't swallow pills. There's kids with special needs and people with special needs that just can't do it or won't do it. So I said, right there's a big chunk of the market we go after, because the challenge with liquid nutrition is it needs to be refrigerated. Sometimes the bottles breaks. It's difficult to travel with. TSA will take it from you. So I saw these Snap Packs. I was like, man, we could change the game with this right here, this technology. Gummies, when they came along later in the supplement space, carved out billions of dollars. I said, man, what could we do with something this relevant, this sexy, this cool, this convenient, if we really got behind it and put cutting edge, vegan, plant-based, science-backed, sugar-free, GMO-free, gluten-free, all the frees, and we came out hard. And then we made a decision to say, look, we're not just a supplement company, because some of these companies, I see their marketing, I'm like, they lead you to believe you take their supplement and everything's gonna be great in your life. That's some bullshit. That's like 1/3 of the entire deal. So we created Osnap Active Lifestyle, and we created accountability pieces around this stuff. We created fitness stuff, and not like you don't have to be a supermodel like my wife, but people that are just trying to make some changes. We're teaching people, look, if you haven't done a push-up for a while, drop down, do one push-up. Do one today. Right. I can get you to 50 over a period of time. Get off the couch, and take a walk around the block with me. So we created this whole, movement around this. So that's where the mind came in, because I said, first you got to get the mind right. Before I ever got my body right, man, I had to get my mind straight. The way I looked at fitness, the way I looked at health, and my mind was all jacked up. And plus I was addicted to fats, salts, and sugars like the entire planet, America by far the worst. Yep. So I had to change the mindset. I had to get some education, which we provide education to the max, especially around what sugar is doing. Sugar's killing us. It's killing our kids, fattest, unhealthiest kids on the planet. And they're not this new generation isn't even expected to live longer than the generation before them. That's never happened in the history of our country, and it's sad. if you took out all the products in the supermarket that have added sugar in them, you would lose 80% of the products in the supermarket.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's insane. So I said, look, and I'm just going to show you because I was going to wait until I do this. I said, I tell people I'm not even in the sales business now. I'm in the education business. That there's an entirely new way to consume highly absorbable liquid nutrition. And something like this, we take a snap pack, we do them down straight to the head because nobody wants to wait around. You want to do it with me?
Yeah. You never snap alone.
Never snap alone, man. That's the motto. We got rock stars and rap stars and influencers and massive entrepreneurs all over the country doing this stuff. We go straight to the head like this, put it to your mouth, go like this, snap it, sip it.
That easy.
That's it. Done. I just got 18 organic greens. A brain factor called neurofactor for concentration. We got people coming off of Adderall. The sleep product you talked about, I got people coming off of Xanax and Ambien. Yeah. Because you wake up the next morning after taking that nonsense and you feel like you got hit by a bus. You slept, but you're tired the next day. Now you're
even for me, for even just taking like a melatonin gummy. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but whenever I took those type of sleep aids, I'd fall asleep pretty quick. But then I'd wake up like 3 hours later. I don't know why, but for some reason it would just be 3 hours later. This out like a light, and I wake up and I don't feel that like grogginess that you feel from different sleep aids. So I love it.
I love that, bro. I need to hire you as a spokesperson.
Yeah. No, and today before the gym, decided to go with the Surge. Walk in.
That's no joke.
Full of energy, ready to roll. The cleanest vegan energy you can possibly get. Get rid of the Red Bulls. Get rid of all that nonsense, the artificial sugars. When they say sugar-free and they're selling you something called unicorn pea energy drink or whatever, get rid of that nonsense. Every sip is killing us. Every sip is hurting us. We pack in 0.17 fluid ounces what these energy companies couldn't do. 5 Hour Energy can't do it. Red Bulls can't do it. Monsters can't do it. We're going head-to-head with the big boys, and we're doing it fast. People want speed and conveniently. Nothing else like it on the planet. Yeah, so
anyways, man, I get excited, bro. I get excited about this.
Well, I do want to say for Surge, when it comes to taking anything that's like a pre-workout, for me, I've always had this issue. I had to be very selective because a lot of them give you like that jitter, if that makes sense, kind of like that crawling. I didn't experience that with Surge. So, kudos to you guys. You guys have a wonderful product here.
Yeah, we understood. We looked at that market in a big way, and we saw the cheap, black, dead, roasted, coffee bean, the caffeine that they're using, and the fillers, and all the extra garbage. That's part of the reason why you get that shaky, jittery thing. So we also took medical studies, peer-reviewed clinical studies. So when you take that particular product there, that Surge, get rid of the pre-workout, that there's a nitric oxide, natural nitric oxide boost. We have an S7, all plants. It's like broccoli and kale and turmeric and cherry. And anyway, all these plants, this plant-based stuff, and it's boosting your nitric oxide naturally by 230%. It's also like a natural Viagra for guys that are, but anyway, that's a whole nother topic. So, but we made this thing to move the needle. So you experience it. It's not something you take, I don't know, I'm just shaky. It's actually doing something and benefiting you long term and not harming you. So.
Yep, absolutely. So one thing that I wanted to ask you, because my background is marketing, I've been in that space for the last 10 years, and since I work with a number of different businesses, in 2022, I feel like there's something that any business can learn from an individual that has built a brand, is building a company. What would you say would be at the forefront for any individual in 2022 as far as like creating and building that personal brand?
Yeah, first off, you got to realize that 70% of this stuff, in my opinion, is relationships. Mm-hmm. If I would go back and evaluate why is it that our company is exploding? Why is it that every month is bigger than the month before? And now since January 1st, every day has been bigger than the day before. Wow. The number one key, because I'm constantly taking inventory, I'm constantly looking at myself, because I got to take the ego out of it. Because sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're not always, we're fire ready, aim, and we're super positive. We just believe we can do everything. And I was the same way. So I'm constantly taking inventory, and I realized 70% of our success is relationship building.
Yep.
It's the relationships. It's the connections that we're making. And then from there, the rest of it, you got marketing, facts. I used to think that the facts, like I gave you a bunch of facts about and features of our product, that don't sell shit. Yep. It's when you tell me, when you say the benefit is, I took this thing and I slept all night and I woke up refreshed and renewed. That's the deal. When someone tells me that, when Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, hits me up and says, bro, I take no pre-workouts, never have, and he's the world's strongest man record holder. Yep. And he says, for the first time, I'm using your Surge product, and he tells me the benefits of this in his new workout routine. That's instead of he never gave a shit that it was the S7 blend that won awards and it's plant-based and all this stuff. That just happened to be some great features. So the marketing side, you can take the marketing, which is much smaller than most people get, but it's a critical point. You take you take relationship building, marketing, a little bit on the facts, a little bit on those features, and then figure out, how do I make that connection with you? And how do I connect me personally? First off, my personal brand is what's moving the Osnap brand. And then we're getting influencers, athletes, people like you. You're connecting your brand. Now both of our brands are elevating together. Yep. And so I look, brand. It's real simple. Branding equals authority. Authority equals access. Access equals power, and then power equals wealth. The problem is most entrepreneurs are looking right at the wealth part. I've always reverse engineered everything. Okay, so if I want wealth, I got to figure out these other steps in the process. And if I work backwards, I'm going to end up making my brand explode, making me look like I'm brilliant. Yep. But you know what? We're trying to skip steps. I caught on. I'll take the time and go through all these steps, reverse engineer it until I got the brand that's smoking hot. And then that attraction marketing happens. When Angela Simmons, Reverend Runs from Run DMC's daughter, hits me up and she said, the vegan guru who's opening up these vegan restaurants all over the world with big celebrities, she was cooking for Russell Simmons and Angela and the family, and he just put one of our products down. She hits me up on Instagram in my DM and says, I love your product. That's branding, bro. That brand started from me getting it to the right people, them believing enough in me to attach their name to the brand. Next thing I know, I got Angela Simmons in the gym snapping packs with her trainers, saying what you just said, never snap alone. I'm like, I never told her this stuff. The brand just starts to take a life of its own on, and you can't stop if you want to. The problem is when we try to skip steps. You got to keep in mind, for me, this is 27 years of diligently working in the trenches, building something. And for a long time, man, I was broke as a joke. People, it just sucked, man. But I stayed the course. I just never quit. Maybe I was too stupid to quit, or I didn't have another alternative. So I just kept rolling. Yeah.
So in what you just said, so I'm part of a mentorship program with Grant Cardone, and yes, I love it. Yep. And one of the things that he said in one of our last mentor calls is that collaboration is the new currency. And I love that because, what you were just talking about, that's it right there. I mean, you build that authority, and then eventually you're collaborating with different individuals, and, it can be from all different walks of life or different platforms, but absolutely. So,
bro, well, think about this. Just because I know now that you're using my product, what am I more likely to do? Promote your podcast over someone else's. Promote you over someone who's not part of my, he's not in my circle, my orbit. A lot of people hit me up to do these type of shows. They do all this stuff. For me, all roads lead to the brand, to what we're doing, to the movement, to all this stuff. And again, now all of a sudden you pick up, I don't know, maybe pick up 50 people that are part of my audience. We're all ships rise with the tide when we collaborate like that. I was just at Grant Cardone's. They just opened up a new office right down the street from me, so I was hanging out with Grant. I love what these guys. I shared the stage with him so many times. He's always a pleasure. Yep. But the guy's a boss, bro. I mean, there's levels to this game, and he's playing at incredibly high levels. I love him, and Brandon Dawson are just good people.
Yeah, Brandon's clutch as well. So you were at their new office right near you then?
They're 5 minutes from me, man. I just rolled in. They gave us the VIP treatment. As always, every time I see Grant, he acts like we're best friends, and we're friends, but we're not hanging out. I'm not. He didn't invite me on the new jet anytime recently. So
I hear he's he's pretty selective with the jet. He'd prefer to have somebody riding the helicopter. So next time you're in Miami, hit him up for that. Well,
I'm going to. I'm going to stay out here, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. So we talked about the product and the mission behind the product. I want to learn a little bit more about the opportunity that comes with the product. You know, for individuals that, you know, might be exploring, I want to know from you, what are kind of the core makeups of an opportunity and what you guys have to offer?
Yeah. First off, for me, because nobody would hire me, man. Nobody would hire me. I couldn't get a job. I was fortunate that I got an invite to come to a seminar, and this was, man, going way, way, way back. Yeah. And in that seminar, these people wanted to work with me. Basically, back then, it was a network marketing company, and they said, "Hey, we want to work." I didn't know what that. I had no idea. All I knew is that these people wanted to work with me, and they said they would teach me how to do it. Well, the interesting part is Jim Rohn. A lot of people don't know Jim Rohn, where he made his millions originally when he talks about his mentor. That was his sponsor in an MLM, in a network marketing company. I didn't know what any of this stuff did, by the way. All I knew is that these people were rich and they were easy to talk to. They were rich and they were willing to talk to me. They were rich and they were willing to look past my past, because nobody else would do that. And it took me a long time because I was so rough, but they taught me these principles. Here's what I got out of it. The biggest thing I got out of it, I said, one day, if I ever make it, I'm going to create a company that's an equal opportunity that people can come. Look, I went on to make, you know, tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars, but it was because other people believed in me, and they taught. It was way beyond what the product was. I always say, if I never made a dime, it's what I became in that process. The information I received, the stuff you can never take away from me. You could take all of my stuff, take my cars, my houses, all of it away from me right now, because of the information that I got that's in here. You can't take it out of here. Yep. I could go do this again and again. So we decided to build a company of brand ambassadors, again, mind, body, bank account, where we're putting in their mind first. Let me help you get philosophically on track. Let me help you understand that your problems are your problems, not the government, everything else. Let me teach you a step-by-step system like McDonald's. I created automation in the app. You press a button and the app does it for you. And our ambassadors, they press some buttons and the app takes them through their prospect through a whole process, directs them right to a website where they sign up on the site. They never even talk to them. Then we got an onboarding thing, press another button. So we took some old school stuff and we updated it. We made it very high tech and high touch, and we combined e-commerce and drop shipping and all these other pieces. But then we gave them the most important part of the whole thing is we taught them branding. We taught them leadership. We taught them team building, scaling. You know, my biggest market was South Korea. Our first year in South Korea, we did $100 million. I can't speak Korean at all. I eat kimchi from time to time, but because we were able to automate the processes, all I had to do was change the language in a video, change the words on a brochure. Our brand ambassadors, I can't even tell you, man, we had hundreds that were making 6 and 7 figures, thousands that were making 5, 6, 7 grand a month, part-time from home, man. Wow. We built this army, 327,000 brand ambassadors. This was my previous company. It just exploded because we understood McDonald's doesn't need a guy in a 3-piece suit, hard closing you on a Big Mac. You know what I'm saying? It's like biggest, what is it? Would you like fries with your shake is the big upsell. Yep. And for us, it's, hey, would you like anti-aging with your energy? Or would you like some organic greens, you know, with your sleep? I don't know. And we just keep it real simple and we stick and move fast. I always say less to more people because you can get that to scale. Great salespeople are difficult to scale. And half the time they can't even tell you what the hell they're doing, and then you got to try to figure out all those techniques. I ain't got time for that. I got to get this company global fast. Yep. I don't have time to be teaching people closing techniques and all this other stuff. Not against any of that, but I like fast because money loves speed. So we build these things that our ambassadors can fly, and then I don't care what your background is. I don't care what color skin you are, what your background. None of that matters here. We're the most tolerant organization on the planet. So bring us everybody. And it'll be it's my responsibility then. If you don't get paid, that's because of me, not because of you. Well, unless you just choose not to, show up or get the training. But other than that, if you actually do what we show you, man, you're gonna make money. Yep. So
cool.
Look, once you get, I gotta warn you, Joseph. Every time you say something, I get fired up, man. I'm ready to jump up and down and run around here. I get excited. I'm easily excitable. I drive my wife crazy.
Yep. No, well, John, I love that you were able to take some time to come on to the show. I feel like you dropped some fire on us, and that's what I look for in every episode. But I want to make sure when I close this out that people are able to find you. you or Osnap. And I just want to know, where would you like everybody to go? Would you like them to follow you at a specific spot or a specific website? You tell me.
Yeah, I think the best, my Instagram I handle personally. It's where I make a lot of my personal connections, and I like connecting with people. I know a lot of other influencers, they have people handling that stuff, so it's not really them answering the message, but I do all of them. I try to get through all of them as best I can. So I just say at John, John Malott, Malott, at John.Malott on Instagram. By the way, I'm becoming a TikToker too. A lot of people don't know this, but John.Malott on TikTok is starting to gain some traction, which I was avoiding that platform like the plague. But man, we are getting momentum there like crazy, and a whole new audience there that we're super, super excited about. So either way, Instagram is probably the best way. I'm on there more, but I'm dabbling in TikTok quite a bit as well. And it's osnap.com, and it's it's Osnap without the H.
Yep.
.com, Osnap.com.
So I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't tell people to also follow your wife. Sorry,
yes,
Najla.
Most people, Najla. Most people, yeah, it's funny. Most people know me as Najla's husband now. I'm being known. They don't even know my name anymore. Now I'm just known across the land as Najla's husband. So it's at Naj, Najmalot, professional fitness entrepreneur, swimsuit model. She's the real deal, and she cooks, man. It's like insane. I hit the jackpot there. My best recruit ever.
Yep. Yep. Laid on your best sales pitch that day and continue to sell it over and over. So no, I follow her. I follow you, and on TikTok. I mean, you guys, seem to crank out some videos, and I definitely love the content. For anybody that's listening on my site, lavahotpodcast.com. I do intend to have a link to the Osnap website and the different platforms where you can follow John. And if you go to the site, it will be lavahotpodcast.com/Osnap. You'll be able to find all of his information there. If you're looking for the product, the opportunity, or just a couple of influencers that push out a lot of great content. I've personally been following John for probably 7 or 8 years. This is from back in the day when I was running with Legal Shield. I had an opportunity to see John, and just some of the content or some of the stuff that he pushed out on the stage has still stuck with me. I remember one topic that you gave, or one talk that you gave. It was around the time that a song came out. The song was, I don't know the name of it. I just know the lyrics were "How low can you go?" I don't know if you recall this particular speech that you gave, but I just remember as you were talking about that particular song and how it had an impact on mindset, the entire crowd just had this aha moment the moment you started talking about really that message that song was giving. And I thought it was a brilliant speech, but for that moment in the audience, for them to just have that aha and it just click with them that, oh wow, that is really having the wrong impression or the wrong imprint. I just thought, it was a really, really cool message.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. It's funny, I just did the How to Have Your Best Year Ever, and I brought that up just in not in the same way, but when you got 4 daughters and you see the information that's being pumped into these young people, especially young girls today, you got to think about this stuff, especially, at least I do as a dad. So, man, I appreciate that, bro. That is going back a ways. We were filling up arenas back in those days, filling them up, man. Tens of thousands of people in some of those rooms.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. Well, John, I appreciate you taking the time. It was a pleasure having you on. And, I definitely, as you progress and blow up this business, I definitely want to have you back on. But I appreciate you, and definitely look forward to it.
Hey, Joseph, keep doing what you're doing, brother. This kind of stuff, I wish we would have had this back when we were coming up, man. This is the stuff to be able to plug into this, to get a nugget or two, something that could move the needle, something that could help me make a shift in my philosophy, make a shift in my life. I've been picking up so many little pieces here and there just from getting on podcasts and getting around people like you who have a heart to give the information to the people. Like you're doing this. I told you these type of platforms are selfless. And what I want to do is do everything I can to introduce my audience to you and what you're doing. I appreciate you being a customer. We should just get you a link too that people want to come through. They can come through our door, through your door, and we all win together. Let's all rise together. But once again, appreciate you, man. Happy New Year to you guys.
Yes.
Keep crushing it. Keep me posted. Let me know if I can ever assist in any way.
Absolutely. John, thank you, sir.
Welcome, boss. You got that.
You've been listening to the Lava Hot Podcast with Joseph Connell Jr. Do you want to level up your business in 2022? Then visit us at golavahot.com for a free marketing analysis.